Teacher teaches, dancer dances, painter paints, and leader, I know you all answer this. No, leader influences. Leader will influence through as a role model. In fact, women leaders very easily influences people being a role model, because even studies says they can walk the talk all the time. There are highest opportunities for the women leaders who can influence people, not leading. Leading is easy when you have already a ready and you lead it. But influencing is a challenge. When we talk about the competencies of leaders, we talk about not only having a vision, very good communication skills, and the most important aspect is emotional intelligence. Men leaders have to attend a lot of training programs, they have to take coaching to develop emotional intelligence. But for women, it's by default, God's gift. They got emotional intelligence by birth. And that emotional intelligence really helped them being mother, wife, sister, leader, also taking care of the boss who takes care of their team. So that's the greatest advantage that women leader has. The biggest challenge all over the world is acceptance by men. That's the biggest challenge that they must be facing that. And always, a lot of time is spent and wasted to prove themselves or to get the acceptance of the men. Though they have a competencies of very high competencies in the organization, sometimes it's a big challenge to prove again and again to say that they are competent leaders. There is something, I was just reading a joke. ఎవరు వైఫ్ ఒక సలహా ఇచ్చిందంట హస్బెండ్కి ప్రాబ్లం వస్తే, ఏమండి ఈ సలహా ఇస్తున్నాను, సొల్యూషన్ ఇలా చేయొచ్చు కదా అని. నువ్వు ఇచ్చిన సలహా చాలా బాగుంది, కానీ నువ్వు ఇచ్చావే అని ఆలోచిస్తున్నాను అన్నమాట. That's how people actually, receptivity is the biggest challenge. But they are struggling, they are coming up. Till 5-6 years ago, only the real estate industry never had a women leader. I did not see any. But now they have come to this place also to prove themselves that there is no field, there is no sector, there is no industry which can be left without women leaders. Now they are here. In fact, we would like to listen from them and what made them and what are those competencies that they're developing over a period of time to prove that they are a leader. That is one. I know that men try to prove themselves, but women try to improve themselves. So you need not prove when you improve yourself. That itself is a role model behavior for others to get influenced. That's how they influence as a leader. I would like to listen from them, even all of us also, it's a good knowledge. If you can just share what are the challenges that you faced when you try to influence or lead the team. And in the position of a leadership, I know you will have to give instructions, also share, discuss, communicate in the meetings. Those who are all elders than you, the two men, I know those kind of challenges. So we would like to listen from you too.
Okay. Good evening once again. So, మీరు challenges అన్నారు. I don't think the session will end if we start speaking about all the challenges we're facing. But on a good note, this is something I think all of us are privileged to be here because our families or we were treated very equally in our families. We're all from family businesses, right? So family business lo oka real estate dantlo when our fathers are like open to us coming and joining them, or father-in-laws, like all of us being very open to like మీరు చేయగలుగుతారు అన్న కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ వాళ్ళు మాకు ఇచ్చినప్పుడు we can also rise to the challenge, I think, because this మనకు ఇనిషియల్గా even if we know that we can do this, we need that kind of support from the family. And I'd like to say we all have received it abundantly, and that's why we're here. And in challenges vishayaniki vaste, so I've worked in the US before in the software field for 2 years, led a team and then thought, okay, leading a team is not bad, like it's something doable. I got appreciated. I thought doing a good job. And all treat there's still their differences there as well, but it's a Fortune 500 company, and it's an organized sector, right? And I came back to India, a lot of hope and in the process, and again, like I said, we are coming in a place of privilege. My father is the managing director of the company, so people have no choice but to listen to me, right? So how hard can it be? Ani anukunta, we come in, and that's when the real story begins, right? So it's not it's a very interesting thing. People want to listen to you, people have to listen to you, but how do they receive you, right? That's the hard part. So when I came in, bringing all my knowledge coming from the different industry, ఇక్కడికి వచ్చినప్పుడు when the starting discussion ఏంటి, మనం internal team ఉంటుంది. Internal stakeholders are still easy because they're your company, your family business, you've seen them growing, you've grown up seeing them. So that's internal stakeholders are a little better. You'll have your struggles because you're dealing with your seniors and all of that. And then I would say the biggest challenge would be the external stakeholders. I wouldn't even say customers, I'm talking about vendors. So we have to talk to procurement team lo unnappudu, we talk to all kind of purchases, right? Steel, cement, or any kind of vendor. So they are not used to this. So for them, I'm not blaming them. They don't know how to talk to us, what to expect. So that kind of challenge was something I've never experienced. So people coming to see me, and cultural shock for them and me as well. So them asking that, మీరు హెచ్ఆరా, హ్యూమన్ రిసోర్సెస్ చూసుకుంటారా, మీ మేనేజర్ ఎవరు, కెన్ ఐ టాక్ టు సమ్వన్ నెక్స్ట్? అండ్ లైక్ దర్స్ నో నెక్స్ట్, దిస్ ఇస్ ఇట్, లైక్ you've reached the highest level. And them addressing emails saying dear sir, I still get emails saying dear sir, even when they spoke to me on the phone, even when they spoke to. So these are little things though, but it's funny. I laugh about it with my husband, and we just like, this is Ariani. But even in the real estate industry, right, memo credai, we're all part of credai, and so we go to youth cons or conferences there. So this time I said, my husband is also here, so I was like, Ellam Padan, like let's see, you will see my side of things. He's in software. So I said, let's go. And he's like, fine, I'll come. And he wasn't interested in the session, so he said, let's go for breakfast or something. Event kellam. No one, I was dressed in a suit. I have a tag saying I'm from this company, so and so. Everyone comes, meets him, says, hi, which company are you from? Can you tell me a little bit more about your company? And he's like, no, actually, she's the person. But it's the perception, right? It's hard. That perception is something you have to prove yourself more. So you have to work twice the effort. You have to put in twice the effort for them to recognize you. So that kind of thing is something is new to you, right? Coming from a different place. Yeah.
సో వండర్ఫుల్ అండి. నాకు ఈవెంట్ హైదరాబాద్లో కాకుండా ముంబైలోనూ న్యూయార్క్లోనూ చేసినట్టుంది. కొంచెం తెలుగులో కూడా, తెలుగు అమ్మాయిలే, తెలుగు కోడలే కాబట్టి కొంచెం తెలుగులో కూడా మాట్లాడండి. అండ్ సో ఐ థింక్ డిడ్ ఐ టెల్ యూ దట్ షీ ఈస్ ఫ్రమ్ ఆర్వి నిర్మాణ్ అండ్ షీ ఈస్ ద COO, and Nagini from Silpa Group. So Silpa is I think one of the finest real estate company, and she's leading. And Meghna is from ARC Group. So అంటే మేఘన వాళ్ళ నాన్నగారి పేరు పొద్దున్న వచ్చారు, రామిరెడ్డి గారు అంటారు. సో ఐఎమ్ నాట్ సేయింగ్ రామిరెడ్డి గారి డాక్టర్ మేఘన అని చెప్పలా, మేఘన ఫాదర్ రామిరెడ్డి గారు అని చెప్పా, రైట్?
సో వేణుగారు చెప్పినట్టు హైదరాబాద్లో ఉండాలనిపించడానికి ఇది కష్టమైన జాబ్ కావచ్చు, కానీ ఇది మేము చూస్ చేసుకున్న జాబ్. సో సంథింగ్ నేను తెలిసి కూడా వచ్చిన జాబ్. సో ఇష్టంగా చేస్తే కష్టం ఉండదు అంటారు కదా. సో ఐఎమ్ డెఫినెట్లీ ఇష్టంతో చేస్తున్నా.
రైట్, బాగుంది మీ అనుభవం యాజ్ ఏ ఉమెన్ లీడర్. అంటే ఇంకా ఛాలెంజెస్ చాలా వినాల్సి ఉంది. వాళ్ళ ఛాలెంజెస్ వినే ముందు మనతో డాక్టర్ ఆనంద్ ఇక్కడే ఉన్నాడు. ఆయన ఆర్గనైజేషనల్ HR PhD చేశారు. హీఈస్ డీలింగ్ విత్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ లీడర్స్. ఆనంద్, జనరల్గా ఎంటర్ప్రెన్యూర్ లీడర్షిప్లో విమెన్ లీడర్స్కి, ఆర్గనైజేషన్లో ఉన్న విమెన్ లీడర్స్కి, వేర్ యూ విల్ ఫైండ్ ద డిఫరెన్స్? అంటే డెసిషన్ మేకింగ్లో కానీ లీడింగ్లో కానీ ఇట్లాంటి విషయాల్లో ఒక ఆర్గనైజ్డ్ కార్పొరేట్స్లోను ఇట్లా రియల్ ఎస్టేట్ ఇండస్ట్రీలోను విమెన్ లీడర్షిప్ ఉన్న డిఫరెన్సెస్ వాట్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఐడెంటిఫైడ్?
Good evening, everyone. That's a wonderful and also a challenging because I need to see రెండు పర్స్పెక్టివ్లు చూస్తే తప్ప మనం మాట్లాడలేము ఇది. I think she has beautifully explained with one thing. I am a managing director's daughter, so everybody will listen to me. So that's a kind of perspective you might have. But even in the organizations, that perspective is not available. That's one of the major challenges that we see. And when we work, in fact, when we start recruiting the people, most of the male HODs, heads of the departments, they prefer only male, not female. That's one of the biggest challenges that we say. But as per the statutory norms, we are supposed to maintain the ratio of women and men to maintain the diversity. అట్లాంటప్పుడు వాళ్ళని తీసుకొని వస్తే మేము పని చేయించుకోమండి, మేము ఎలా చేయించుకోవాలా, వాళ్ళు చెయ్యరు, మేము చెప్పిన మాట వినరు, ఆడవాళ్ళతో డీల్ చేయడం చాలా కష్టం. దీస్ ఆర్ ద కమెంట్స్ దట్ విల్ లిసన్, లిటరలీ స్పీకింగ్. ఐఎమ్ నాట్ ఎవరిని కించపరచడానికి కాదు, ఇన్ ది ఆర్గనైజేషన్ ఐఎమ్ స్పీకింగ్ అబౌట్. అండ్ ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ ఇది చేస్తున్నప్పుడు ఐ థింక్ యూ జస్ట్ మెన్షన్ ఐ డిడ్ మై పిహెచ్డి ఆన్ ద టాపిక్ నోన్ యాజ్ అ సర్వెంట్ లీడర్షిప్. నౌ సర్వెంట్ లీడర్షిప్ అన్న టాపిక్ మీద నేను రీసెర్చ్ చేస్తే మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ రీసెర్చ్ విచ్ ఈస్ ద లీడర్షిప్ క్వాలిటీస్ ఆర్ ఆఫ్ విమెన్. Because that leadership quality itself very clearly says, if you want to be a leader, you have to be a servant for the present generation. And present generation servant అంటే ఏంటంటే, ఒక అమ్మ, ఇంటిలో అమ్మ ఏ విధంగానైతే తన పిల్లలకి సేవ చేస్తూ తనను తాను హెచ్చించుకోకుండా తగ్గించుకుంటుందో అలా చేసినప్పుడే ఆర్గనైజేషన్ డెవలప్ అవుతుంది. Now, that's where I started pitching in what is my leadership. వాట్ ఈస్ సర్వెంట్ లీడర్షిప్ అన్న దాని కాన్సెప్ట్లో బయటికి తీసుకొచ్చాం. సో ఆ పర్స్పెక్టివ్లో చూస్తే టుడే వీ హ్యావ్ సీన్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ లీడర్స్ ఇన్ ది ఆర్గనైజేషన్ అండ్ దే హ్యావ్ గ్రోన్ అప్ ఫ్రమ్ ద లోవర్ లెవెల్ టు ద హయ్యర్ లెవెల్, ప్రొవైడెడ్ ఐ థింక్ షీ ఆల్రెడీ మెన్షన్డ్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఛాలెంజెస్ దట్ దే ఫేస్డ్. ఫస్ట్ ఈజ్ acceptance from the people, the team. Second, acceptance from the HOD. Only then they can start proving. Now that acceptance beating is one of the challenges in the organizations. And in terms of entrepreneurs, as per, whatever the knowledge that I have, what I understand, correct me if I am wrong because you have experience in that. When they come out into the market, as soon as they come into the market and as I said, yes, we can do everything and anything. But they listen, most of the male, they listen to them outside, outward listening. That is, okay, you have power, you are dictating, that's all. But once they go back, we know what type of comments they make and how they try to see that these things are not happening, what they said. Now, this kind of challenges I probably foresee in the entrepreneurs.
So, keeping that in mind, my next question is to Meghna. Yeah. Meghna, taking birth in a family where it's established and known to the market is one side, one perspective is really a great luck. In fact, you can see that. On the other side also, very well, people apply that brand to you. అంటే మీకు పర్సనల్గా ఎన్ని క్వాలిటీస్ కాంపిటెన్సీస్ ఉన్నా సరే దెర్ విల్ బి ఎ మాస్క్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ ఎయిదర్ ఫాదర్స్ నేమ్ ఆర్ యువర్ కంపెనీస్ బ్రాండ్. సో దే సీ యూ యాజ్ ఎస్టాబ్లిష్డ్ బ్రాండ్ రాదర్ దాన్ యూ హ్యావ్ పిక్డ్ అప్ ఫ్రమ్ యువర్ స్టడీస్ ఆర్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ అండ్ ఆల్. So this is the biggest challenge, to come out and create your own brand. So how did you face this and how are you fighting with that to come out of it?
So honestly, even before I joined the company, I myself had a little bit doubt saying, will people look at me the same way that they looked at my dad? They were like, "Naak anta respect istara, meek iche anta respect." He's like, you need to earn your respect. No one's going to see. At the end of the day, like she said, we're privileged. ఏమంటారు మమ్మల్ని, they can't be rude to us, they can't say no to us, but they won't wholeheartedly respect you. So how I went through this is, in the beginning, for the sake of it, everyone said, "Hi madam," all good, but I knew truly they did not respect me for my competencies. So how over the years, what I've learned is when you bring in new things, when you learn their ways of doing things. When I went around doing market research by myself, I went down to sites, ate lunch with all of them to make them feel more comfortable being around me, took them out for a lunch or a dinner, so that they understand that there's more to this person than just being someone's daughter. There is a personality, there is a lot
You
of
have
knowledge
ground
that
level
comes.
understanding.
Yes, that's how I started, because at the end of the day, చెప్పాలంటే top management are very few. In the 100% of company that you have, your top management is 5%. Everyone are ground level people, and if you really want to make a change, ఆ change చూడాలంటే you have to go to the roots. ఆ roots change కాకపోతే there's no point. In my head office, everyone is nice, we have team meetings, అన్ని discuss చేసుకుంటాం, అన్ని చేస్తాం, but when my the juniors and the people on site don't understand what this means, there's no point. So going down to the roots, making them understand, saying నాకు కూడా తెలుసు మీ సబ్జెక్ట్. I also, and one more thing what happened is I got a support from my father for this, where when there was a problem, he would my dad దగ్గరికి వెళ్తే he would be like, no, go to Meghna, she'll solve it for you. So when they came to me with a problem and నేను సాల్వ్ చేస్తే they understood, okay, she also knows the subject, she also knows how to deal with things, so it's fine to go to her. And from then I've seen a lot of change where they come to me and they ask me to solve something, and obviously if it's beyond me, we go to the director and try to find a solution for it.
That's really wonderful message, which I was saying, that walking the talk. అది అధికారంతోనో బ్రాండ్తోనో వచ్చిన పవర్ కాకుండా నాలెడ్జ్తో వచ్చిన పవర్ అని మీరు ఎప్పటికప్పుడు ప్రూవ్ చేస్తుండడం వల్ల యూ కెన్ రియలీ ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ పీపుల్ వెరీ వెల్. సో మై నెక్స్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ ఈస్ టు నాగిని గారు. I think you have much little more experience that they do both have. That's what I guess. I'm sorry if I know.
Director of Silpa Group. I am 10 months old in the company. And yes, I am very new to my work, but with age and experience. And I also belong to one more male-dominated sector, politics. So I get to see a lot of challenges that take place.
Then I am targeting the right person to my right question. So my question is, there is one border line అండి. ఒకటి యాక్సెప్టెన్స్, నాన్ యాక్సెప్టెన్స్, ఒక బార్డర్ లైన్ ఉంటుంది. నేను ఐఎమ్ నాట్ బిలాంగింగ్ టు దిస్ కమ్యూనిటీ, ఐఎమ్ నాట్ బిలాంగింగ్ టు దిస్ బిజినెస్ అనే ఒక ఫీలింగ్ నుంచి ఎస్ ఐ బిలాంగ్ అన్న ఒక ఎడ్జ్ ఏదో ఉంటుంది, ఒక ఇన్సిడెంట్ ఏదైనా ఉంటుంది, ఒక ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఉంటుంది. హ్యావ్ యూ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్డ్ ఎస్ నౌ ఐఎమ్ స్లోలీ connecting to that? What kind of incidents that you have faced where you felt, yes, I'm belonging to this? Disconnected nunchi connected.
As Chetra and Meghna rightly said, I am the daughter-in-law of the chairperson. So you think it's very easy for us when we do it, but it's actually the hardest for us. Nothing comes easy, nothing is in a platter.
Undoubtedly.
దూరపు కొండలు నునుపున అంటారు కదా, సో ఇట్స్ ఆల్వేస్ దట్ వే ఫర్ అస్. సో ఇట్స్ ఆల్వేస్ గ్రీన్ ఆన్ ద అదర్ సైడ్, బట్ యూ జస్ట్ డోంట్, ఇట్స్ నాట్ రియల్లీ దట్ వే. సో ఐల్ టెల్ యూ అ క్విక్ థింగ్. ఇట్స్ బీన్ 10 months. I head precisely marketing, sales and finance at Silpa Infotech, and I surrounded myself with even more inspiring young women. My telesales group, I have a bunch of young women who want to prove they do their sale, they actually come out. It's not just me. I've surrounded myself with other women. So we have such a great bond that the other day one of them got married and I was out of town. You won't believe, on her wedding day, she hysterically started crying. And she's FaceTiming me. And that's when, at that moment, I felt I belong here.
Oh, very good.
Numbers and, crores of rupees and land dealings. Apart from that, as you rightly said, Venugar actually said emotions that work really high for us. And actually, I use that as a tool for
Very
most
nice.
of my work. So that's how we deal
My
with it.
beginning saying emotional intelligence was correct and applicable to you.
Definitely, sir. That really helps us a lot in many ways. But if you actually, I just read up something yesterday, and dictionary.com lo, the most searched word of this year is the word woman.
Oh.
Because the longest reign monarchy, Queen Elizabeth II. They passed away. She passed away, and then our the judge, the Supreme Court judge of United States, is Mrs. Brown, and she's the first black woman to be the Supreme Court judge. And then the Iran protest, and there's so many things that woman is the key word for 2022. So I see us really going high in future too.
Very good. We wish you all the best. Yes.
Thank you so
You
much.
deserve it also.
Thank you.
So I have a question for you, Chetna. In fact, మీ పొజిషన్లో ఉన్నప్పుడు వన్ మోర్ ఛాలెంజ్ ఇస్ డెసిషన్ మేకింగ్. అసలు డెసిషన్ తీసుకోవాలా, ఇది కరెక్టా కాదా, ఇది అనుభవంతో తీసుకున్న డెసిషనా? ఎందుకు డెసిషన్ మేకింగ్ ఛాలెంజ్ అవుతుందంటే దెర్ ఆర్ లాట్ మెనీ పీపుల్ అరౌండ్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు సపోర్ట్ యువర్ డెసిషన్. సో దట్స్ వై దేర్ యూ జస్ట్ స్టక్. టెల్ మీ వాట్ ఆర్ ద పారామీటర్స్, what benchmarking do you have to make a decision? Generally, what do you consider before you make a decision?
So interesting question. Decision making is definitely hard. So decision anedi, I think two things. So మీరు అన్నట్టు benchmarks and standards ఉంటాయి కదా. So every whatever problem or whatever issue that comes up, first thing I do as a practice, this I learned from working in a different company. Understand what is going, what are the things that are influencing that decision. So ఏదన్నా ఫ్యాక్ట్ బేస్డ్ డిసిషన్స్ ఉండాలి. సో ఈ రియల్ ఎస్టేట్లో కానీ ఎనీ ఇండస్ట్రీలో కానీ మనము యాజ్ మచ్ ఫ్యాక్ట్స్ ఇఫ్ యూ కలెక్ట్, లైక్ ఓకే దిస్ వాట్ ఆర్ ద ఫ్యాక్ట్స్ వర్సెస్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద emotions related to that decision. So if we are able to separate both of them, then we'll be able to make the best decision. And one is definitely facts. And second, which is an advantage to all of us, is the wisdom that comes through our parents. So once, okay, let's say an example of ఒక అపార్ట్మెంట్ని లాంచ్ చేస్తున్నాము, ఆ అపార్ట్మెంట్ ఆ ఏరియాలో ఎలా లాంచ్ చేయాలి అనే డెసిషన్ ఉంటే వీ హ్యావ్ అ డేటా సెట్. ఇప్పటి వరకు కస్టమర్స్ ఉన్న డేటా సెట్ ఉంటుంది. దిస్ ఇస్ ద ఏజ్ అండ్ ప్రొఫైల్ ఆఫ్ దట్ కస్టమర్ అని ఉంటుంది. సో వీ హ్యావ్ దిస్ ఇస్ ద టార్గెట్ ఆడియన్స్ అని డేటా విల్ బ్యాక్ టు వన్ థింగ్. And once we do that set, then we take it to the next level, talk to our fathers or whoever is in the upper level with experience and ask them, this is what all the data is backing. What do you think? This is what our so far our experience is saying. So me experience enti. I think if you combine these two things, you can't go wrong with any decision. And even if you do, you'll learn. And so that's the kind of benchmark that I use for my decisions, and learn with it.
వండర్ఫుల్, దట్స్ గ్రేట్ సేయింగ్. సో విమెన్ లీడర్స్ ఎవరైనా ఆర్గనైజేషన్లో డెసిషన్ తీసుకుంటున్నారంటే పవర్ ఉంది కాబట్టి డెసిషన్ కాదు, డేటా బేస్డ్ ఎవిడెన్స్ బేస్డ్ డెసిషన్స్ యు ఆర్ టేకింగ్. మేఘనా, దిస్ క్వశ్చన్ ఫర్ మీ టూ, అండ్ ఐ థింక్ యూ వుడ్ సే సంథింగ్. ఎస్.
I would also add to that, with women how it works, like once Ratan Tata did say that when we make a wrong decision, we make it right.
Oh,
did you get that? So we make a wrong decision, but we work in certain way that we actually make that right. So we have that ability as women to actually do that.
So anyway, since the mic is in your hands, let me ask this. Are you brain dominant or heart dominant?
Both. We divide the sectors.
Define it.
Chaitra and Meghna are newly married, and I am a mother of two. So there are areas when my heart dominates, and there are definitely areas when my brain has to dominate.
When Chaitanya says a lot of evidences, so brain dominant. So I thought whether your decisions are also brain dominant or not. Based on the situations, I understand, but my question was only brain dominant question. That was.
Situation really takes care of the dominance.
So Anand, from my question to you, for example, విమెన్ లీడర్ కింద ఆర్గనైజేషన్లో చాలామంది పనిచేస్తుంటే మెన్, యాజ్ ఏ హెచ్ఆర్ పర్సన్, ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు కమ్యూనికేట్ సంథింగ్ టు ద మెన్ ఆన్ ద ఫ్యాక్ట్స్ ఆఫ్ విమెన్ లీడర్షిప్, వాట్ డూ యూ కమ్యూనికేట్, వాట్ డూ యూ టెల్ దెమ్ ఆన్ బిహాఫ్ ఆఫ్ దెమ్? ప్రాబబ్లీ మేఘ్నా, చేతన, అండ్ ఆల్సో నాగ్ని వాంటెడ్ టు చైత్ర these three, they wanted to communicate something to their leaders and their team. On behalf of them, what do you communicate to them when women are leading the teams?
Actually, my perspective, I'll speak about one thing. Most of us in the families, if you see, as the fathers, we start discriminating. అమ్మాయి కదా కొద్దిగా సైలెంట్గా ఉండు, అబ్బాయి కదా నువ్వు పరిగెత్తి నువ్వు చెయ్యి, అలా మాట్లాడుతూ ఉంటాం. బట్ మదర్, షీ ట్రీట్స్ ఈక్వల్లీ ఆన్ బోత్ ద సైడ్స్.
Correct.
So that is where we develop those qualities. The same thing happens even in the organizations. మనకి ఇక్కడికి వచ్చినప్పుడు ఏదైనా సరే కమ్యూనికేట్ చేయాలనుకున్నప్పుడు కూడా జెంట్స్ పర్స్పెక్టివ్ ఇఫ్ యూ లుక్ ఎట్, we become little harsh, we communicate. But in the organizations, the female leaders, they understand much better. You know, I think rightly said by her, it's a very clear, ఒకవేళ రాంగ్ డిసిజన్ తీసుకున్నా అది ఏ విధంగా కరెక్ట్ అని చెప్పే స్తోమత విమెన్కు ఉంటుంది, మనకుండదు. వీ డోంట్ యాక్సెప్ట్ యూజువల్లీ, we try to defend, but they try to convince. So the most important thing of what I would say as a leaders when women are leading, I could very well say that you will be better understood by a women leader than a male leader. That's what I would communicate.
Wonderful. So before we conclude, I have last question for Meghna. See, there may be some belief systems of the people which will stand as a hindrance for us to grow. So if you have to address that one belief system, which belief system, if you get an opportunity to communicate to people, to change that?
One thing in a company is that they think that if you're putting women in leadership roles, they'll be like, oh, ఏముంది ఇంకో పెళ్లి చేసుకుంటుంది, పిల్లల్ని వెళ్ళినప్పుడు she'll leave. Who's going to make, who's going to fill that gap? So they are always routing for us to leave at some point of time.
Oh.
So that is not going to happen. We are here to manage everything. Like, she's a mother of two and she's managing multiple careers.
You're
So,
committed. That's what is you want to
yeah, we are
commit.
committed to whatever we are doing. And I think the change will be when we have stopped calling women leaders and just a leader. We, like, why are we separated saying that, oh, a woman entrepreneurship? Do you call men leaders? You don't. So that belief that either we are not going to be there to continue, or the fact that, oh, you're special because you're a woman. These two beliefs need to go. We are just as equal as anyone else, and we would like to be just called leaders.
I think you all need to get deserve the big round of applause to them, in fact. Have you seen the confidence that they are carrying here while sitting here? It's not because they have a power or they have a position, but they have their strong belief systems, their practices, which are making them feel confident and communicate that confidence. With that confidence only, they are influencing the entire organization as a leaders. They are not just leading, they are influencing. They are walking the talk. When they are talking about, we got influenced because when you have compared and communicated both family situations, and also you treat the organization as a family. And everything that you have communicated is giving a strong belief system to people that we can agree and accept women leaders to be much better feel.
Leaders.
Because they are the good readers of the people too. Thank you very much once again for your august presence, and Dr. Anand for your inputs also. And that's a very good comparison with the organizational leadership and also the entrepreneurial leadership. And your round of applause should encourage them to stay committed for a long time with the organizations, and they are the biggest blessings. Thank you so much for being in this.
I have a question for Nagini Madam for you. So you are a business leader and you are also a family leader where you take care of the kids and the family. And you're also a social leader and corporator. She has campaigned in the election, not nominated post. So, and she is a corporator in Nanjal. And ఒక 13,000 మంది ఉమెన్కి లైవ్లీహుడ్ అండ్ మైక్రో ఫైనాన్సింగ్ చేసి ఒక లైవ్లీహుడ్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నారు. సో హౌ ఆర్ యూ మేనేజింగ్ ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్ యాజ్ ఎ లీడర్? వాట్ ఛాలెంజెస్ యూ హ్యావ్ యాజ్ ఎ సోషల్ లీడర్?
Venugaru, firstly, I wanted to say this for a long time. The minute you saw me, I know your husband is an MLA, but you didn't know I was a corporator. Start acknowledging
I felt that Sitaram movie heroine is coming to our seminar. I really don't know that you are a corporator. Thank you for it.
So the question exactly you asked me was, I didn't get it.
Yeah, so మీరు ఒక బిజినెస్ లీడరు And you are also a mother, a family leader. You take care of your kids, and you told me that how you are మన brief meeting లో at your office. And it's a surprise to me that మీరు పేరు పంపించినోడు మీ హస్బెండ్ ఎమ్మెల్యే అని తెలుసు, నేను చూశాను, కానీ మీరు కార్పొరేటర్ అన్నది నేను సెర్చ్ చేయలేదు కూడా. దట్స్ మై పర్స్పెక్టివ్. అంటే ఇక్కడ బిజినెస్ లీడ్ చేయడమే ఫుల్ టైం వర్క్ అనుకుంటే, అట్లా సోషల్ లైఫ్ అంటే బికాజ్ ఇట్స్ డిమాండింగ్. So I want to be an minister or a education minister without getting direct election. ఎందుకంటే డైరెక్ట్ ఎవ్రీడే వచ్చి ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ చాలా ఉంటాయి వన్స్ ఆర్ ఎలక్టెడ్ బై పీపుల్. సో దట్ టు కార్పొరేటర్ అంటే మున్సిపల్ ఎవ్రీడే ఛాలెంజెస్ ఉంటాయి. సో హౌ మచ్ టైమ్ యూ డెడికేట్ ఫర్ దట్ నంజాల్ యువర్ ప్లేస్? హౌ ఆర్ యూ బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్?
First thing, the key is in your question, balance. You need to balance. You cannot be on one track. As in, ఇప్పుడు రియల్ ఎస్టేట్ చేస్తున్నాం, numbers పడుతున్నాయి, you just go behind it. No. You have to come back in the evening and take care of your kids. Kids బాగా చదువుతున్నారు, they're getting good grades. Push them harder. 100కి 99 ఎందుకు 100 out of 100 రావాలి? No. You go back to your social life, and a lot of people are waiting for you out there. So you need to do that. And also I shouldn't fail to mention that I really have a very good supporting system. Behind every successful woman, there is a man antar. Alane, behind every successful man also there is a woman. So it works both ways, and I really have, just like Meghna and Kshetra have fathers, I have my father-in-law and husband who constantly support. It could be brother, anyone in your life. So the support is constant. So it is a balance between both the things. Etu side ekkoina, the balance won't happen. So I'm thankful we are here and we get the balance.
వండర్ఫుల్.
Thank you.
సార్, అర్ధనారీశ్వర కాన్సెప్ట్ గురించి చెప్పారు నాగిని గారు. అంటే అర్ధనారీశ్వర అంటే స్త్రీతత్వం పురుషతత్వం కలిస్తే వచ్చేది మానవత్వం. అలాంటి మానవత్వంతో కూడిన నాయకత్వం ఉన్నప్పుడు ఏదైనా బ్యాలెన్స్ చేయొచ్చు అని వండర్ఫుల్లీ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ నాగిని గారు.